welcome to another Looney Tunes review video. If you're new to the channel, consider subscribing as it helps out the channel, and give this video a like if you do like it. So this is a review for Catch as Cats Can, released on the 6th of December 1947. It's the 509th of the series, and it's directed by Art Davis. Because it's a copyrighted cartoon, I can't show you the cartoon here. Unfortunately, there's not been a restoration at the time of this recording. Knowing my luck, it'll probably get released a few days after this recording, as sometimes seems to happen to me. And again, let's go through a quick synopsis, which, once I read this out, hey, it's going to sound really weird, but anyway, it's pretty funny. So, you got one very skinny bird. He's singing away, much to the annoyance of the other fatter bird, where that bird sees Sylvester and plots a plan to have Sylvester take care of this very skinny bird by eating him. And there's something about vitamins in there too, which is it's a very strange one. And with me today is my fellow bird and partner in crime, Oster Kelly. Say hi.
Hi, I'm here to talk about this. I mean, we just talked about Mexican Joyride. I think this one's going to suffer in comparison either way to this one, but weird cartoon, I guess, would be the proper way to put it. It's a funny one, but I guess just weird, a little off.
But definitely worth watching, as we'll definitely explain. So, as always, just a few bits of trivia to get through. It's the second and final Sylvester short to be directed by Art Davis, with both shorts being released in 1947, funnily enough. Now, those birds, I wanted to wait till now to explain who they are. So, the skinny bird, and if you've been watching my channel a while, you should already know this, but the skinny bird is a caricature of Frank Sinatra, who was really skinny at that point in time. And Bing Crosby is the fatter bird. And, if you're familiar with 40s pop culture, you would probably know who they are. But for those who are new to everything, well, you got to start somewhere, and that's who they are. And what's interesting as well is that there was apparently a scene that was cut from the ending, which supposedly featured a tombstone in the backyard reading, "Came in before his horse," and that would refer to Bing Crosby just not being lucky at horse betting and ownership and all that sort of stuff. In fact, there was even a gag in an early Clampett show where it's like, Bing Crosby's horse hasn't come in yet.
Crosby's horse hasn't come in yet? Hey.
When it comes to his unluckiness at the horse racing. So, wow. So this short, Austin, what are your general thoughts? I know it's a slight letdown for Mexican Joyride, but still pretty solid, I thought.
Right. No, I think it's just a pretty solid short. I was telling you this before we were recording, but it's hard to call any 40s Warner Brothers cartoon bad. I mean, with the exception of maybe like a few of the earliest 1940, 1941, like confused Disney-looking things like Busy Bakers. I mean, I think these, for the most part, all have their merits to them. I mean, I'm not saying this one's bad. I'm just trying to put it in perspective. And, we've got Mexican Joyride. You've got House Hunting Mice. You've got Little Orphan Anne. You've got all these masterpieces coming out during this period. And obviously, people weren't seeing all these back-to-back. But if you come out of a theater watching House Hunting Mice and then you saw this one, you're kind of like, okay, I like that first one. That second one, it felt a little weird. And I think there are a lot of reasons as to why this one feels weird in particular. But it's still a good short. It just feels off, Sylvester, for one thing, is a completely different character. You were making the comparison to Heathcliff and Do Re Meow, which I think is totally accurate. But, I mean, it's interesting because the idea of Sinatra and Crosby as birds is from Swooner Crooner, which Davis worked on. I don't know if that was an intentional steal, but maybe Davis just kind of forgot that was already done before.
Probably.
It was a subconscious steal, but I don't know. It's a good cartoon, don't get me wrong, but I don't think I'm going to be rewatching it anytime soon.
No, unless it's a restoration, which I hope will come for this one anyway. I mean, what I do like about this one is this quote-unquote Sylvester, because it is Sylvester, but it's also not Sylvester. It's really weird. We all know Sylvester. It sounds like, you've got that lisp happening, right? Whereas this one's like, ah.
Just no vitamins, friend.
Vitamins? Well, how do you get vitamins?
the really stupid goes, oh, I'm not going to get the vitamins, like that kind of a really dumb voice, which, to be honest, I love. I absolutely love. And, I know that whenever Austin Kelly feels down, he actually calls me up and says, oh, can you do that dumb voice? I need cheering up, No, I kid, of course I kid. But, a few highlights from this one. I do like the gag involving the sink and just how of a craftsman that Sylvester is in carving out that wooden girl bird thingy, and puts grease down, and I don't know, it's just a really weird set of circumstances where it ends up being soap. But there's also some great animation, whenever Sylvester's like laying traps and that, so it's definitely worth watching.
Here's the thing about that. You mentioned the animation. I think it's great animation too, but it's so crazy. Sylvester is changing looks in every scene, in every cut. He looks different. I mean, people like me who like to identify the Warner animators, like, this cartoon is hell to everyone because the switch from Clampett to Davis and Tashlin to McKimson is infamously confusing on its own because animators are flip-flopping around units and you don't know who's going where, who's going to show up here. But, I mean, this cartoon has, like, so many uncredited animators that I can't take more than just a few scenes and be able to say, okay, this is Basil Davidovich, this is Herm Cohen. I can't do that here. Really, I mean, the only guy who's got a really distinct style, whose scenes I can ID for certain, is Don Williams, who's got that great dry brush where a character does a take and their eyes are, like, behind them in the form of, like, paint streaks. But anyway, I mean, Sylvester looks cool, though. It's like there's one scene where he grows devil horns, and he's got, like, this white mask on. It's so weird. This cartoon is just a very odd cartoon, but it's a good one. Don't get me wrong.
But I do like the part where Sylvester's laying out the bird seed, and then there's a one split moment of him with the incredibly giant tongue. Like, it's just... it's ridiculous. It's just absolutely ridiculous, and the way that Sylvester's mouth is pried open with the tire jack. It's just, I don't know. This one's probably more, I think, for those who like to watch just real weird animation, I guess. But hey, it's funny. I like it, especially the vacuum cleaner scene. That seems like torture to me, but hey, it's fine. Look, I'll give this one probably a 7 or 7.5 out of 10. It's a solid cartoon if, as you say, it's really, really weird one.
Yeah, I think I would agree with you. I think it's around a 7. Like I said, there's nothing particularly bad with it, but it just feels very off. And it's not that off is a bad thing, but I just don't think there was anything particularly crazy or enjoyable as there was with Mexican Joyride. I don't think I'm going to be rewatching it anytime soon, but for what it was, I enjoyed it.
In any case, we'll wrap this one up here. So thank you so much for listening, guys. And until next time, take care.
See ya.
You must remember this.
Yes, who?
Well, now that's a shame, son. But don't you worry a bit. Now here's the best idea.
Well, wait a minute. I got an idea this time.
Time goes by, and when two lovers woo, they still say bub-a-boo. On that you can rely. There's nothing like vitamins.